Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank. I'm taking you inside Amazon, showing you what's being done to keep employees safe during the pandemic. And take a look at this technology. This lets them know whether they're actually getting too close. You're going to see it all tonight coming up in my Help Me, Hank report.
Wild. All right, Hank, a break in a Macomb County cold case. A man charged with murdering a mother and her 11-year-old daughter from a case that goes back to 2013.
But first, the defenders have uncovered disturbing new details about the murder of a professional poker player. Sources tell Local 4 the woman was tortured before she was murdered.
Susie Zhao's body was found in the Pontiac Lake Recreation Area in White Lake Township last month. A 60-year-old man is charged with murdering her, a professional poker player. Local 4 defender Sean Lay live with new information on what we've learned about the moments leading up to Zhao's death. It's awful. Sean.
Good evening, Devin. And look, we want to warn people, these new details, they are new. They're important to the case, but they are very difficult to hear. Jeffrey Bernard Morris, a 60-year-old from Pontiac, is held without bond tonight, charged with the premeditated murder of Susie Zhao. And now the Local 4 defenders are learning about more horrifying details of this case. July 13th, the 33-year-old's body was found burned at the Pontiac Lake Recreation Center. Sources confirming to the defenders tonight that before Zhao was set on fire, she was bound by zip ties. We are told investigators tracked down video from a store of Morris allegedly buying those zip ties. After Zhao was bound, she was tortured. Sources tell us she was sexually assaulted with an object and then set on fire while she was still alive. Back here live again, disturbing new details, but still so many questions about this. Why Susie Zhao met up with Morris at a Waterford motel, that is still unknown at this time. We're live downtown tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4 defenders.
It's just too much to hear. All right, Sean.
Well, 7 years after a mother and her 11-year-old daughter were murdered in their Clinton Township apartment, a man has been arrested. Tony Johnson went before a judge today, charged with 2 counts of murder in the deaths of Tina and Chrissy Geiger. Jason Colthorpe is live with more on this break in a cold case.
All right, good afternoon, sir, in Clinton Township Jail. What is your name?
Tony Johnson.
40-year-old Tony Johnson arraigned today for the murders of 47-year-old Tina Geiger and her 11-year-old daughter Chrissy 7 years ago. Their bodies were found slashed in their Parkway Village apartment in Clinton Township July 30th of 2013. Johnson, who worked in Roseville until COVID hit and lives in Detroit, let an attorney do all the talking in court today.
We understand these charges are very severe, but I think it speaks volumes that at 40 years old, he has absolutely no assaultive criminal history at all.
Despite no prior record and not being on the run from any pending charges, Magistrate Ryan Zemke was not comfortable setting Johnson free, having a limited knowledge of the facts of the case.
For purposes of today, given what we're dealing with, bond is going to be set at $1 million, cash surety only. As a condition of release, if he were to somehow post that, I know your comments about ability to pay are well-founded, but I find that there's sufficient danger to the public if he were to be released such that the bond would be appropriate in my mind.
In 2013, police did make an arrest, but it wasn't Johnson. J. Thomas Miller was sentenced to probation for resisting and obstructing and lying to a police officer. That's when the murder case went cold until now. So a $1 million cash bond in this case. Now, I just talked to the uncle of 11-year-old Chrissy. He doesn't remember a Tony Johnson from 2013. All he remembers is that they had some trouble with some of their neighbors. Now, a search of public records that I performed just a little while ago shows 2 siblings, we presume a younger brother and sister of Tony James Johnson, both have previous addresses listed at the same apartment complex that Tina and Chrissy lived at, and a quick Google search shows they were all very close in proximity. We'll see what happens when detectives give us more information about this case in the days to come. We're in Clinton Township. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, thanks. Now to the coronavirus and a jump in cases in Michigan today.
The state is reporting 1,121 new cases. That's the highest daily count we've seen since the middle of May. There were also 16 more deaths to report, though 9 of those did come from a review of past records. Governor Whitmer will hold a briefing tomorrow morning at 11. You can watch that on Local 4 or clickondetroit.com. And we've learned the state Senate has called a rare Saturday session to discuss the schools situation. They will be talking about a number of education issues, including whether to force districts to offer in-person learning as an option for families. We will continue to follow that, of course, through the weekend.
That we will. And more school districts have decided on a virtual start to the school year, including Chippewa Valley and Troy.
And we know whether it's in person or online, there is no perfect decision for every parent. Ahead of Local 4's Education for All Town Hall tonight, Paula Tutman got a group of parents together to talk about their biggest concerns going into the school year. As Paula shows us, the worries go beyond education.
Tonight will perhaps be one of our most important town halls to date. As parents prepare to send their children back to school, whatever that looks like, there's still a great deal of confusion and there are a lot of questions. How do you keep the coming school year from descending into something other than a school year? At a roundtable this morning with parents as well as parents who happen to be teachers.
How many of you feel like this is busy work and your kids are just going to lose out this year? Show of hands.
The voices in the Zoom room are from Allen Park, Detroit, Lake Orion, Pontiac, Rochester, Romeo, and Trenton. Because it is every district for itself, parents and students have incredible confusion as each individual district plan more resembles a Rubik's Cube.
Romeo just sent out a quite lengthy list.
My third grader, his option is to go to school on Monday and Tuesday from 8:30 to 12:30, and then he would come home.
Seems like it's going to be half and half.
And unfortunately, we just found out that the in-person learning is going to move to online until October 1st.
So you do have the option to stay home virtual.
And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday would be at home.
Or they're doing a hybrid.
And then kids with the end of the alphabet go on Thursday and Friday.
As a teacher, I'm just as confused as the parents.
And that means everyone still has questions.
I don't understand how you're going to get the full curriculum across if you're going to school for half of the time.
What are they going to be doing with fall sports? Why is school being online, but we can still go to practice on a daily basis?
Would they still have those opportunities available to them? You know, if they were in school, like the dual enrollment, being able to take college classes while you're in high school.
I thought it would be hard getting into 6th grade and getting into a new learning function. Now it's going to be even harder.
What about art classes? What about choir, band, yearbook, student council? There's just so many things that you have to be in person for.
How are we going to meet those goals that he has in this critical period in his life? We only have like 2 more years to get it right, pretty much.
Which leads me to that original question.
How many of you think that this school year is just going to be a wash and is just busy work? Show of hands.
Out of 10 parents, 8 believe the prospect is bleak for a productive school year that keeps their children learning and competitive. And that included the 2 teachers in the group. The start of the school year has become a perilous road we travel as we work together to ensure that truly there is education for all. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Now, in less than an hour, Paula and I will be addressing so many of those issues that are so concerning for parents right now. As we mentioned, Local 4 holding an Education for All Town Hall tonight at 7 on clickondetroit.com. We will be joined by education leaders from all over to answer your questions. Make sure your voice is heard. You still got time to submit some questions right now at clickondetroit.com, and then I invite you to join us tonight at 7 o'clock.
Looking forward to it, Devin. All right, well, right now, President Trump is holding a briefing on the coronavirus. Moments ago, he addressed Joe Biden's proposed plan to mandate masks across the country. The president says his administration won't require them.
My administration has a different approach. We have urged Americans to wear masks, and I emphasized this is a patriotic thing to do. Maybe they're great, and maybe they're just good. Maybe they're not so good. But frankly, what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. So we do, and we've been saying wear them when it's appropriate, especially in terms of social distancing, if you can't distance enough. And what do you have to lose?
President Trump says it will be up to the governors if they want to mandate masks. We're streaming that briefing on our website, clickondetroit.com.
Oakland County deputies need your help finding a man accused of taking inappropriate pictures of a woman. Police say this man followed a woman at the Meijer store on Haggerty near Maple in Commerce Township. This was just on Tuesday of this week. He said he was carrying around what looked like a car wash brush and was using it to take pictures up the woman's clothing. He was driving a black Ford F-150. If you know anything about who he might be, please call sheriff's deputies.
A big announcement today in Detroit. The future of driving around the world is being tested right here.
Michigan's elected officials, along with Ford, unveiling a plan to dedicate lanes on I-94 for self-driving cars. A 40-mile stretch would link the University of Michigan to Metro Airport to downtown Detroit. Project is the start of a 2-year study to figure out if existing lanes could be used or if new lanes need to be built. The self-driving buses and cars would be linked to a central computer system which would coordinate their speeds. The lanes would be the first of their kind in the entire country.
What may be the world's most sophisticated roadway will be built here in Michigan to help increase the safety, efficiency, resilience, and operations of roadways in the not-so-distant future.
Much of the project being funded by companies under Alphabet Inc., Google's parent company. They hope to make money by duplicating the technology for other big cities. Now, at first, the self-driving cars will have people behind the wheel. Important to note that they will start with them there as a backup. Fascinating to watch. All right, we're just getting started here at 6.
Let's check in with Hank.
Tonight, an exclusive look inside the massive Amazon distribution center. I'm going to show you what's being done and what technology is being used right now to keep employees safe. It's coming up in my Help Me Hank report.
And welcome to your Thursday evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. Beautiful, warm 80s out there. Plenty of sunshine today. But what about Friday and your weekend? That and your 7-day forecast in minutes.
All right, Andrew, but first, what police say this man stole after he shattered the front door of a Tim Hortons. It's hurting people in need.